Good evening and welcome to Plannercraft. I'm Ian and tonight I'm going to be going through doing a SVG download and taking it into Canvas and then having a play with the file in Canvas.
I can comment.
Oh good.
As me, which it wasn't letting me do earlier.
Oh good.
So hopefully stream should be okay. Yay. Cheers.
Yeah.
That means we might get our videos back.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
You never know. Is that Deb? Rachel?
Yep, it is Deb. Asking if we're having a good day.
Oh, long, taxing.
And all you had to do is sit there.
It's mentally taxing though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Taking it all in and trying to remember everything they tell you. But I've got onto design bundles and we thought we'd pick the Easter egg trailer ×2 butterfly SVG. I don't know whether it's 2 trailers, 2 eggs, 2 bunnies, I ain't sure. But it says it's ×2, so we're going to download this. I haven't downloaded it before, so we're going to pick this as a download if my bonus is going to behave. Come on. There we go, download free now. Whee. And let's put it into my downloads folder. And then we're going to go into Canvas.
Hi Julia, hi Valerie.
Please note we can't see comments on YouTube or Twitch, so if you are there and commenting, we can't see your comments at the moment. Can we?
No. Actually, do you want me to, mind you, then I'd lose the Facebook ones. Yeah, there's no way I can see them all at once, is there?
Yeah, you should still be able to see if you can get into Restream.
I'm glad you said yeah.
Because you should be able to see, you'll be able to see the content, you'll be able to reply to Facebook if that makes sense.
I don't know if I have it on here. That might be one for tomorrow.
Do it through Safari. Log into restream.io. So we're going to bring in the SVG that we just imported. So we're going to the SVG down here. So I've just got a blank canvas at the moment. There's nothing on this one. Bear with me 2 seconds.
Okay. We're just trying to get into Restream so that we can see all your comments. Hate to miss anybody's comments, wouldn't we, dear?
We would.
Is it not letting you in?
No, you're in.
Oh, okay.
No, you just need to find the button. If we do it from up here.
Chat. Anyway, carry on, dear.
Open your browser and do it from there. There.
It's getting there slowly.
Go to downloads and let's find our file. What was it? It's bunny something, wasn't it? It's not that. It's definitely not that. It's definitely not that. It's not a baby elephant. It's not
That's
a
weird.
banana.
I'm not seeing everybody's username at the moment, so if you can just let me know who's commenting what and I can at least say. So if you just let me know who's who. And if we're going to keep going to the Facebook group, you can actually register with Restream so that you can upload a picture of yourself and I'd be able to see who it is that's commenting.
Easter Bunny trailer, is that what we
I
think?
think I may have missed a few comments because somebody said Heidi, welcome to the group. So it's not that I'm being rude and ignoring you, it's just the Restream app hasn't updated properly yet.
Scarf or not to scarf?
This is the question.
Let's go no scarf to start with, shall we? So there's our little bunny. And let's see how it's brought it in the layers. One shape.
That's not going to work for what you wanted, is it?
It's not.
Can I make a suggestion?
What?
Go to the Gentleman Crafter bundle and go from there.
What, 'cause you know they're all going to be messed up?
No, that is not what I'm saying. I just know that there's some card bases in there, so at least you can do the dash lines and stuff.
Okay.
Because one of the questions we got asked on the group is how to do dash lines and what if they're locked.
Didn't we download it?
We did. You downloaded it to be exact.
So, let's try a different file then. Unless it wants me to use a different one. So, let's go on to our Dropbox.
Hey, and you just showed two of my Jamies. It's Carol. That's commenting. It's because they're lurking in my downloads folder.
Yeah, sorry Carol, I was trying to be quick and not show.
Not show too much.
I can't find the file.
Where did you save it?
I thought I had a folder for the Creative Fabrica.
Yeah, Creative Fabrica blog one.
It's in there, is it?
Right in there. That's where I would have thought you'd put it. That's where I would have looked for it.
Or is it all of these? Hang on, it could be all these, couldn't it?
Hope you've had a good day anyway. And sorry we couldn't stream earlier. And as for what on earth was going on with Facebook with the premiere, well, at the moment all we can see is that it looks like it's lost all the videos. I mean all the videos. Which is like, no. So just let me know who's commenting, just because at the moment everybody's coming up as Facebook user, which is really annoying. But it's because we're going to the group rather than to the page. Something that we're going to be considering in the near future, isn't it, Ian?
It is, and I apologise that I'm not saying a lot at the moment. I am just trying to find a file. I know I've downloaded all these files, and I know I've put them all into a folder. Do you think I can find them?
Oh, I'll go for something else then, Ian. And I will try and do a stream with them tomorrow and try and sort Sandra's issue. Sandra, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was Sandra, yeah.
You know when you say something you think, I'm not sure that's the point. But the only thing is at the moment I can't go live at 11 because of interfering with Ian's training, which we can't do. So,
which is a shame, because you know if I thought we'd get away with it, I'd let you. Yes.
Yeah.
Right, on some of these.
Trouble is, at some point I'm going to have to go back to streaming at 11, I think, because I think 7 o'clock every night's going to be too much. But it's all learning curve.
Give me a second, see if we can see what some of these are. That's not got a fold line on it. And those are like cheese graters, don't those?
Do you want me to come and find something here?
Struggling here. I found. Do we know which file it was of John's? There's a folded insert. There we go.
There you go. That's what you need. You need something with a dash line to it.
Something with a dash line. Right, so it brings it in as just a good old black shape. We do love files like that.
Hallelujah.
So, first things first. Let's take that fill out. So into our fill colour. And we go opacity, it just takes it away.
And somebody else says, don't know what's going on with Facebook at the moment, no notification and can't watch on TV but using Facebook Watch. All was working a couple of weeks ago.
So I'm going to add...
I think we may have to go back to the page for Facebook Watch to work now, which is annoying.
Yeah, so what I've done is I've turned off the fill that was on that one shape. I've highlighted, selected everything using Control and A. Or Command and A, depending on what computer you're on. And I've turned the opacity down on the fill and turned it up on the line colour, because that's what was off. So now we can see we have a dashed line across the middle. We have our border on the outside. And for some I see they've done each of the little dashes individually, so they haven't done a dashed line at all. They've put a little dot.
Yeah, which is what Sandra was struggling with.
So, first things first. Let's replace that dashed line with a line. So let's use our path tool. And we're going to click one side. We're going to hold our shift to keep it straight. And we're going to double click so it's inside. We're going to set it to our dash pattern. So we now know that's our top one, and then we can select that one, down to that one, press delete, and we've replaced our dash line with a proper dash line. Nice and simple. There you go, and that's how you replace a dashed line. And we can then make it bigger.
Yeah, normal Facebook is misbehaving in other ways, isn't it? So at the moment it's making it look like all our videos have been deleted, which is somewhat nerve-wracking. Isn't it? Just a tad.
So, and that's how we create our dotted lines that otherwise wouldn't have worked, because it would have, like, see, the other way you could have done it is you could have just grouped your dash, the lines they put in as individual lines, and set them to draw if you wanted to, rather than setting them to cut. Which you could have done, couldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the way that it was set. But
sometimes I just take them out altogether if it's something that's fairly simple.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to mess up where it was in that one because it was obviously set to be a middle, if that makes sense. I'm not quite sure what the tab at the top's for though. I assume it's part of a bigger card.
Oh, it's like it could be a tab folder, for instance.
I suppose, yeah. Yeah.
So hopefully that's answered the question on dash line. The other one that we had was positioning items on the map, because I think SVG's coming in the centre rather than sensibly placed was the other question.
The easy way to sort, if we get lots of, let's find a file that's got lots of bits in it, shall we? Let's see if we can find something that... one of yours? Twist and cut.
No.
Okay. Twist and pop card.
That's the one. Oh, similar to the one that you were trying to do, wasn't it?
I have no idea. So let's see what that brings in. Now, this is supposedly a scan and cutting file. Okay. So let's firstly delete out the one I was just playing with. There we go, all our bits. So again, they've done daft things with the dashed lines. Rather than drawing a line and making it dashed, they've put in lots of individual dots, if that makes sense. Which, to be brutally honest, is quite dense.
Not going to mince your words there, dear.
Oh no, because you don't want them like that, do you? You want them to work.
Straight out the box.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to say.
Rather than to faff.
Don't do faffing, do you?
I don't, not the best of times.
Okay. Somebody asks, and I apologise for this because everybody's Facebook user, so somebody asks, how do you get the colours on the right? I don't have that, but it looks cool. So,
get a Mac.
Get a Mac is the simple answer, yep, because it's part of the Mac operating system, so...
Yes, it only works on a Mac like that with the crayons. I don't know
found
why.
a penny for every time somebody said that would be rich.
Yeah. On a PC, it just gives you like your squares, and then you have a no fill at the top, which is the one with a line through it. It's usually a white box with a red line through it, and that's your no fill. You don't tend to have the opacity roll, you just have the fill.
That's okay, because I have no clue who's late.
I think it's the same person who's chuckling at us. So yeah, it's one of those that, unfortunately, you're probably more, the closest this comes to is that sort of look, but it's more blocky on the PC version, and comes up with your black, blue, red across rather than like that. So it looks more like this palette at the bottom, but bigger. But you have a no fill on each of them. Yeah, I can't change it any other way. So yeah, unfortunately the Mac is the only version that does it with crayons. The PC doesn't do it, so that's why it
looks a bit different.
Looks a little bit different.
But that's the only reason it looks different. It's not.
Yes, it's not nothing else other than it's just the operating system. Again, back to the dashed lines, and I don't know why they haven't. They've obviously got the program to put the dashed lines in, but why put them in as individual little marks rather than putting them in as a dashed line across where they need them to go? I don't understand. Maybe they don't understand the program. But even so, surely even in Illustrator, if you understand the program, you can get it to do what you need it to.
Yeah.
And it's just the case that it's people not understanding their software, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Ways and means.
Yeah. Yeah. Leave it to the pros, I anyway. It was what I was looking for, but it isn't at the same point. I wanted to find a file that had lots of pieces that sort of come in on top of each other that you have to try and then separate out. So I'm going to try again. Let's select all of that and delete it, because, yeah, well, not impressed with that one. Let's see what else I can find. I mean, that's actually listed as a scan and cut file, which is quite worrying, because, yeah. That's a font. What's that one?
You're going through my downloads folders now.
Well, your downloads folder has all the...
Tell you what, go for the nested shapes. Go back up. The CCC. That's it. Because those all come in on top of one another.
Let's see, what should we go? Let's go hearts for a change, shall we? And kaboom!
I know why they put dashed lines in. They thought they were putting white lines down the middle of the road. Long dashes.
Long dashes. So, this it looks like it's got lots of things, but again, it's coming as one big black piece, which is what we don't want. So, first things first, I'm going to move all of it into the middle so it's a bit more prominent, nobody can see it. So, here we go with the fill colour again. So, on this one, we want to turn the fill colour down to nothing. You go, oh no, it's disappeared. That's because we haven't got any line colour in it. So, go back to our line colour and turn it up. And ta-da! There we go. So now when we click off, we have all our little bits and they're all together. Now this has a nice stitched line effect around the inside edge. So as a rule, I would try now and go through all of them and just pair up the stitched line to your outer line and group them. The reason being, when you start to move them about, you want your stitched lines to stay with your cut line. Is that fair?
Mhm.
Yeah?
Yeah, you want to keep your stitch line with your...
So the easiest way to do that is on the side here, and we can see that, okay, top two. So shift and shift. Control G. Command G. Yeah, I'm using the wrong button.
That's because you've been used to using the other keyboard, isn't
using
it?
the other keyboard and PCs again. And again, using shift to select the next one. So again, I can see that's the next one along. And we'll group that one. Shrink it up. Next one. So we're not actually moving anything at this point. All we're doing is selecting the two that are next to each other, grouping them and shrinking them up. So again, we can see that's the next one. Yes, this takes a bit of time to do, but it's worth it in the end.
Save it when you've done it.
Yep, so once you get to the end of doing all your grouping, save it, and then you've got forever saved. Yes, two sets of hearts saved together. Now the reason we do it down the side here rather than try and do it on the inside edge, if you do it going down trying to click on the inside, you A, might miss and get the wrong ones, and it makes it a lot easier to see where you're actually selecting just by picking one then the other. And if you accidentally got the wrong one, you'd see instantly that actually that doesn't line up.
Somebody else is late, but again, I don't know who.
Yeah, so those of you who are just joining us on Facebook, do pop us in a note just to let us know who is commenting, because at the moment we can't see, because the restream chat's lost all your names, so it just says Facebook user. So if you do comment, just pop your name next to it if you can, and that way we'll know who's there. So now I've got all my bits grouped together, so now we can start moving the bits around. So before we go too far, let's save that for Natty so she has it. It might just matter if I move them around, does it, before I save it?
Nope, as long as
they're all grouped. Yep.
Because you'd only ever use them as a pair anyway, you wouldn't.
Yeah, so now we can pick out individual ones and we can start to move them around. So that grouping really helps us because we now know that no matter what we pick out, it's going to take its dash lines with it. So we're all going to have that nice stitch effect all the time. And we can take all of these, separate them out. get them all in. Doing so well.
Feels like you're struggling. Oh, in there. Move your
Oh, it's that one. That one needs to come down, doesn't it?
yeah, move that one down to the bottom left, and then move the little ones so they fill the gap. So you always position your big things first. Can you do this for all the shapes? Yes, you can.
Yep. Doesn't matter what the shape is, you could do it for any of them.
And hi, Sally.
That we find out who one of our people are.
Yeah.
So let's pull that one up. Let's pull that up in a minute out of the way. That one can come over here. Take that one down there. Bring that one over this side. That one over there. There you go. So you can separate them all out. And then of course, because we have it all now nicely in layers, we can now turn off the ones we don't want. So if we don't want the tiny ones, we can turn off the teeny weenies and just leave the bigger ones. And then we could move that so that's more central. Or you could have just the one and just play with it and set them up as you wanted. So yeah, it wouldn't matter what shape that you'd put in, you'd have it there, and then you could just have it as a group it with the stitch down line, and away it would go. Any more questions on that at the moment? Not like it.
Nope, it's all gone quiet.
Yes.
So while we're here, are there any other questions regarding using download files that we haven't covered yet? Can you then bring each shape into a file that you're working on? So in other words, can you copy shapes between documents?
Yes.
Canvas doesn't tend to like it much though.
No, Canvas doesn't like it, but you could.
If you're working in something else like Affinity, it's really easy to do. Illustrator, it's easy to do. Draw, it's easy to do. Scale, it's easy to do because they all can have
Multiple pages.
multiple pages open.
The only way I could see you being able to do that is if you saved each layer as an individual FCM.
Well, you could do each group as an FCM, couldn't you?
That's what I mean. Each
So,
one of the hearts.
Do you want
is
to just show how you do that without having to do too much legwork?
What, just turn off the one you don't want, leave one on, and
just leave one on and save it, then, well, export it as an FCM, then
the
switch
next
layer and so on and so forth.
Yeah. So what we're saying is you could just turn the rest of these off. Just leave the big one in the middle, and then you go to export as if you were going to send it to your machine, which also tells you that any layers that are hidden are not going to be exported. You then go to export FCM, and this will save it to your computer rather than, and then it gives you a choice of saving the title, so we can call it Stitched Heart 1, and then we can call it save, and then the next one, turn that one off, turn the next one on, and do the same again. So Command and E, which is export, tells you images that are set to hidden aren't available to export. You press OK, export FCM, and then you go stitch heart 1 and you just change that to a 2 and save, and so on and so forth up your sizes.
Then when you go to your other document that you want to bring the file in, then you can just go to import it and bring it in that way.
I don't want to lose that. Let me just save the entire file so I don't lose it when that's done all of those. So what you can do next, so if we were going to start a new sheet, so now we could import the FCM, so we could go to import SVG, find the folder wherever it's just hidden it, stitched nesting, there we go, stitched heart 1, open, and that brings in just your stitched heart. That's interesting. I clicked onto that.
Yeah, it's divided that dashed line into shapes. But that's because you've gone from FCM, isn't it? But it's the only way that you can really go between documents.
Yeah, that's the only way you'd be able to save it between the two.
Which is a real pain, because the only thing that really lets Canvas down is the fact that you can't have more than one document open at once. You can't easily go between 2 or 3 or even 4.
See what I do with that one now, obviously because you've got that big selection of the dotted lines, so you put that there a second. Select the one at the bottom, shift, one at the top, and then group that. And then what it thinks about it. It's a lot to group all in one go. There you go, and then we can shrink that up. And then you've got that one you can call dashed line, and then you could set that to draw. So that's highlighted up to the top and to draw, and then it will draw your dashed line on the inside and it will cut around the outside, and then you have your heart in a new process object and just that heart all by itself. Any other questions?
So I'm going to be back tomorrow with something a little bit different, aren't I?
Yeah.
So I have some new bits to show you that you can have a look at that will be coming up shortly on her channel. So you can see some new bits before everybody else. Well, almost before everybody else.
So if there's no other questions, I shall say good night.
Yep, it's been a long day.
It has been a long day. And as I said, we will be about tomorrow, but I've got training all week for the next 3 weeks. So although I will be about and Natalie will be about, if we don't answer immediately, please don't think we're ignoring you. We're not. It's just a case of...
Hi, Marion. It's just a case of we're trying to do a lot.
Yeah.
If you don't like me today, I was trying to do
sort
about
of
5
panic on
things
today,
at
didn't
once.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, bless you.
And I didn't get anything done today that what I had planned.
Other bits though, didn't you? So.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you all very much for joining me tonight.
Carol says, "Ooh, like new bits." Yeah, so we might have a bit of a mixed media night tomorrow night.
Yeah. We should see how it goes.
Yeah.
So take care everybody, look after yourselves, and we will see you all tomorrow evening.
Yeah.
7ish.
Yeah.
Give or take a bit.
Yeah.
And we'll hopefully see you all then.
Yeah, so. And I will try and get a tutor up for 2 tomorrow. Unless we can manage to get Tracy's premiere to work, in which case we'll do that. But we'll see how Facebook goes, whether it's still throwing a wobbly tomorrow or not. In time it's deleted everything. So, hey, just a little bit stressed today. So take care, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye!